Hi, how are you? Happy spring, everyone. Today it doesn't feel so much like it's spring here because we have snow outside, but it is on its way, and I love this time of year. But when I'm here today, and particularly with this time of year, everybody's getting ready to ride more and get outside and go to horse shows and do all that. So this is a good time to kind of think about this. All the time is a good time to think about this when you're riding. The idea of feel and connecting to your horse. So I wanted to go a little bit into that today and talk about what feel is and how to get there and how to develop feel. So what is feel? It's that ability to hear your horse and have a two-way conversation and listen to your horse and know its needs and automatically be able to help your horse and apply the aids you need without a lot of thinking. It becomes a natural process. Now, some people are lucky and are born with some natural feel when they ride, and they probably couldn't even tell you exactly what they do sometimes, but they just naturally have a feel when they ride their horses, and they connect really easily, and they may not, even as a beginner, they just have that natural way. But that doesn't mean feel can't be learned. Feel can certainly be learned. It's just understanding what it is and then creating the foundations that you need to get that connection with your horse. So, why is feel so important? Well, you're riding this horse. It's two living beings in this partnership. So it can't be just about you. It has to be about the horse, and a lot has to be about the horse. It's about how you can help the horse, and you don't know how you can help the horse unless you can feel them and basically hear them, right? So it's a language. Excuse me, I need to get a drink of water. It's a language that is used, and it's not a talking language. It's language between your feel in your body to the feel of the horse's body, and then understanding what their needs are, hearing them, and then as you get more advanced, getting even more advanced aids and things to help them in whatever you need to help them with. So that's what feel is. And as I've been teaching and working and coaching people and all my years, I observe people. I brought in mindset to what riding and working with people. I've created this model, and some of you guys have probably heard about it, the Unleashed Equestrian Model, where there's 3 pillars to it. And really 2 of the pillars kind of help get to that one pillar, which is connection and feel to the horse. So one of the pillars is mindset. The other one is understanding how your position and technique works to get that communication and that conversation with the horse working. And then the ultimate thing is that listening to your horse, getting that conversation happening. So you need to have all those things in place, and understand that you need to create an open line of communication with your horse, and then educate yourself on how to properly communicate with your horse. So it's learning to listen. It's like if you say with a language, that you learn the language, but it's not just about speaking the language. It's about listening too, so that you're hearing the horse, or if you're talking to someone, hearing them, so you can respond correctly with empathy, with understanding, to get the best result, right? So you're still improving your language. When you're learning to ride, you're learning a new language. You're always improving that language. But at the same time, you're staying open and listening to your horse so you can answer the questions that come up. Maybe you'll have to practice a little more with your language to get better at answering those questions. So it's an ongoing thing. But the ultimate goal is then your connection with your horse. So that first part of it is mindset. It's really the first step to developing feel. And the mindset part is, working with your mind so that you can be mindful and present and aware, Because if your head's off in 20 different directions because you just came in from work and you're worried about this and what are you going to make for dinner at night? Oh my goodness, I have to go shopping and how am I going to pay those bills or whatever? You're not present. And if you're in your head, like with all that stuff, you can't possibly be hearing what your horse is telling you. So that's part of the mindset thing, getting yourself to learn to be present, and then learning not to take things personally, not to think you have to be perfect, understanding you can make mistakes, and that's okay because you make a mistake, you understand that's a mistake, you try something different. So in that conversation with the horse, you're working on feel, you hear the horse, you think it needs something, you try that something, that doesn't work. So maybe you use a leg aid or something a certain way and it doesn't work. And instead of getting upset, so staying present, not getting upset and caught up in limiting beliefs that, oh, I made a mistake or people watched me and that didn't go well or whatever it may be, you go, oh, there's a mistake there. That didn't work. What else can I try? Let me try something different. Oh, that worked. So that's where the mindset part comes in, staying open to learning, staying present to hearing, not being afraid of mistakes, staying present to what's going on with you and the horse, not worrying about everything else around you. So that's the one, very simple description of the mindset part. Goes that we like when I work with riders and coaching and stuff, we go much deeper into what are their limiting beliefs, where do they get in trouble, how to learn to be present, using breath work, using meditation, journaling, different things that help people learn to be present so they can connect to the horse. So there's lots of ways to do that. And so that's that one pillar. And then the next pillar is something that people practice a lot. It's position and technique, but they practice it as an end in mind instead of understanding it's the way you connect and communicate to the horse. It's the way you stay on safely too, but it's the way you stay balanced and connected and in listening to your horse, and then the aids that you use to help your horse to be in that conversation. So often people get into the position and technique and get working and fixing it, and without the understanding of its purpose, like, why am I putting my leg here? Why does my heel have to be down? Why are my hands here? How are they affecting the horse? What are they doing? Why is my instructor telling me to do this? Not just do it and getting caught up in just having this fixed, perfect position that has, in your head, you're worrying about you making this position look good and do well, but then you become disconnected from the horse because you're not understanding the purpose of why you're working on this position, the purpose of a certain technique you're using. So staying open to understanding why you're doing it, being curious about why you're doing it. And that brings you back to the mindset stuff, right? So it's not all one or the other. It's like, all this stuff works together. So being curious, well, why am I using my position this way? What is this technique going to do? How does this help my horse? And not just thinking, oh, I need to, ride without stirrups all the time because I need to become strong. Yes, that helps you get strong. But I need to understand that when I'm riding without stirrups, I'm letting my body muscles be loose enough to listen to the horse, not so tight and locked in that you don't even hear the horse's body underneath you, because that's how they communicate. So understanding that when you create your position, that it doesn't become fixed and hard and rigid and disconnected from the horse, because that is part of the line of communication that you're using with your horse. So then the next thing is, well, connecting with your horse. How does that happen? Well, I've kind of been talking about that, because they aren't, even though they're three separate things, they overlap. If you see it, and when I have it in the model, I have a Venn diagram, they overlap. And, if you have two of them, that's good, but you need all three to really make it happen. And they overlap, and it's because they don't go in steps. They are continuously working together. So your mindset, your position keeps the connection to the horse, which goes back to your mindset, position, all that. And it's just continually working. So that connection, again, is that hearing, that opening the line of communication, allowing your body to be listening. So it needs to be strong, but soft and supple, so your muscles aren't locked up, and you're feeling and hearing and receiving the horse underneath you and receiving the horse in your hands, and not just taking the horse, but really receiving and hearing and having empathy for the horse and understanding. And then, when you hear what the horse needs, or you hear something that's going on, you think, well, what does the horse need? And you change and try some new aids, or, move your leg, do whatever. So that's how that connection happens. But again, remembering it's an ongoing thing. It's not linear. And then some days you may say, I really need to work on my awareness because I just get in too many places. So you can do that on the horse. You can do that off the horse. Work on your awareness at home, because often that follows through in all parts of our lives. So you can do work on that. And then there may be a day, I really do need to work on this leg position or something like that, or it's something on my hands or whatever. That's okay. Just remembering that it has a purpose. So you're working on, why am I needing to put my hands in a different place? How does that affect the horse? If my hands are too low, they lock in, so maybe I need to raise my hands, or whatever, it is you need to do. You can work on that. You still have to bring the mindset there, but that may be your main thing for the day. Because if you don't have that open mindset, then, growth mindset, then you're not going to get, learn what you need to learn, because you'll get stuck in worrying about mistakes. But you can focus on things, or you can come to the ride saying, today is my day to totally listen to what my horse needs, because I'm practicing that. So it can be broken up, but yet all those things are always there. It's just you may be focusing more on one thing than the other. So that's like the connection, and it's how you kind of bring them together. It's like understanding that they need to be all working all the time. So you try to balance them. But like I said, some can be, you might have to have a little more here one day working on some technique you're doing with your position, another here. Like, I really need to work on the mindset stuff before I can get too focused on this. Or today, I'm in pretty good mindset space. Now I want to take that and really listen even more to the horse. And again, like I said, it goes in a cycle. Even in one ride, it goes in a cycle, right? So it's not linear. It's always, and that's kind of the idea of, with the Buddhists talk about, is even have the mindset of a beginner's mindset. It's not like I start here and I'm going to get here. It's constantly going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Same with that idea with the beginner's mindset, that the master on the circle of learning is next to the beginner, because the master knows they're always learning. There's always more. Same idea with this model. It's always evolving. It's not all, I get this part and now I can get this part and I can get this part and I'm all good to go. No, you're always working at feeling. And each horse, then you get on a new horse and it's like, oh, this horse is a little different. I can hear this. I understand how to listen, but now maybe this horse pushes a few buttons that makes me do some habits where I lock up on the reins or do some things. So then you've got to maybe work to create that conversation with the new horse. So that's feel too. It's going from one horse to another and being able to change what you're doing, because it's about the needs of that horse. It's not about your needs. Certainly we have a goal in mind with what we want to do with our riding, but we're not going to get to those goals if we're not listening to the horse's needs. So that's really what feel is about, and kind of where you need to go to develop it is really about developing that connection with the horse, and really staying mindful, to being present and open. And I didn't mention, which I should have, the feel is about being present with you as well. Having an awareness of your body, listening to your body, understanding what's happening with you, listening to what's going on with you, so that you allow your body to be open and listening to the horse, if that makes sense. So that's what feel is. This was something I wanted to share a little bit today. At least is my view of, how to create feel. And it's an ongoing practice. Like I said, some people start out with it naturally, but they still have to work at it, to develop it even more. Some of us have to just keep practicing it. You practice all these things And each day you'll get a little better at feeling and connection with your horse, because that's the ultimate goal, right? You want to be connected and you want to be happy doing what you're doing, and you want your horse to be happy. So that nice mindful connection and balance of you enjoying what you're doing, and then your horse having being happy too. So if you would like to work more on that, if you struggle with mindset work, if you want a stronger understanding of how to connect with techniques with the horse, give me a call or email me at lisa@mindfulequestrian.com. The one thing I kind of have that's unique is I have the mindset training as a coach, but I have years of experience training horses and riders, so I can bring the two things together, right? I can help you in all areas of this model. So if you'd like, contact me, and I do one-on-one coaching, or if you want me to come for a clinic, or I will be doing, hopefully sometime soon, some group offerings. Give me a call also or email me. Also, the other thing, and actually you can give me a call too. My number is 315-427-9498. I also do talks. I have a couple talks coming up in April. So if you're distance from me and you want your group or someone at the barn, or a team or whatever, to get a deeper feel for all this, I do talks as well. So reach out to me if you would like to set something up. It's been great talking to you today, and have a wonderful day. Take care.